dearest reader and watcher, it is true that a new social season is upon us. Bridgerton season 4. Who wants a review? I'm going to be sharing review of the Bridgerton season 4 part 1 in this video. Just grab your chair, grab your coffee and your popcorn as I tell you more gist. See you soon. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm excited that I am doing a movie review. So beside my work, my family, which is being a wife and a mom and other things in between, one thing that I enjoy doing when I have the time, in fact not just when I have the time, but even myself at great time, is watching a movie. And not the conventional movie. Trust me guys, I like to watch season movies, like episodes upon episodes, season upon season. I don't mind waiting for months, even years for a season to come out, in as much it makes sense. And seriously, at this point, I can't really blame my husband because he doesn't enjoy it. This guy keeps wondering, how do you wait months and weeks before another episode comes out? Do you even remember what happened in the last episode? And I'm like, don't worry, I got it. You know, and Bridgerton is another movie that I'm stuck with. I've watched season 1, season 2, season 3. And since everybody's actually raving about the season 4, I thought to also do a review of what I saw in the movie and also like give my 2 cents in between. Like the fact that we all see this love fantasies and Bridgerton, do that actually exist? Like you're working in the garden, you and like a guy and a girl, you working in the garden and then you just like, you're looking down and you look up and you meet this Prince Charming, your eyes lock into each other, your lips lock into each other, and before you know it, you're right in the author. I didn't mean my husband that way, so if you meet your husband that way, lucky you. But we enjoy the fantasy. So what I have here is I've actually wrote down some things in my notes on my phone. I'm going to be reading that out first before I give all the reviews, you know, based on the movie. Can you know that these, my own review, are actually my personal, and you know, don't take it personal, it's just my own view, okay? All right, so let me just open, you know, where I have it. So I wrote here that the Bridgerton season 4 centers on Benedict Bridgerton, the family artistic free spirit, and Sophie, a young woman living on the margin of Regency society. The story is inspired by a Cinderella-style romance, but with a much heavier emotional and social lens. That's so true. I also wrote here that the season opened with a masked ball where Benedict met a mysterious woman who captivates him instantly. What he doesn't know is that Sophie exists in 2 worlds, one briefly illuminated by elegance and fantasy, another defined by hardship, class barrier, and invisibility. As the season unfolds, Benedict becomes increasingly restless with the expectation placed on him as a Bridgerton. His journey is less about finding a wife and more about questioning who he's allowed to be as an artistic, as a man, and a lover outside society grid roles. I also wrote here that Sophie's storyline runs parallel and deeper to represent the cost of a class inequality in the Bridgerton world. Our experiences expose the imbalance of power between romance and survivor, love and insecurity. Unlike previous female leads, Sophie cannot afford mistake. Every choice has consequences. Their romance develops slowly and painfully. It's marked by longing, secrecy, and emotional conflict rather than open courtship. I also wrote here that Benedict is drawn to Sophie but struggles to reconcile his feeling with his privilege, while Sophie is forced to wield desire against dignity and safety. So I'm going to stop right here. You know, one thing that I share some sentiment about this movie, about Sophie in particular, because my daughter bears Sophia and we kind of call her Sophie. So when I saw Sophie, I'm like, my Sophie is an high-class lady. Anyway, I was just like, that's just a joke. So here is this movie, just what I read out. It's between Benedict Bridgerton and Sophie, and Benedict happens to be one of the sons of Lady Violet Bridgerton. the soft, the tender woman who also depicts some African reflection, like African mother reflection of you wanting your kids or your children to actually settle with a perfect woman, have a perfect life, not just going around. The mom must have actually persuaded Benedict, so come for this masked ball, hoping that maybe during the ball it can actually get a princess to actually bring home, bring home to mama. About Bridgerton is that they always have balls. So it was a masked ball, everybody putting on a mask, so you don't definitely know who the person is behind the mask. Like you wouldn't really know the exact person. So here is Benedict, who got captivated by Sophie. And they met each other. There was a love spark. The lover boy got into the love web. Where they were both outside the ballroom, and Benedict was asking Sophie that, who are you? Can you introduce yourself? They seems to have this bunny sensation with each other. It was a mutual love. Benedict had that same bunny sensation, and Sophie also had that same bunny sensation. But one thing is that Sophie is from a different world entirely from Benedict. Benedict from this high class, having all the wealth and the riches to themselves, where Sophie, on the other hand, she was a maid. Even though our story, I love the plot of the twist of the story, the fact that Sophie wasn't born a maid. What happened is that she lost her mom early in life. Then her dad had to remarry, and her dad promised her, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you whatever you need. Don't worry. All of those stuff, like a father would promise their daughter after their mom passed on. But down the line, we saw the scene where Sophie's dad actually passed on, and right at the burial, Sophie's stepmom literally said to Sophie that your father didn't include you in the will, so that means you don't have any inheritance to yourself. And I can imagine what a sad story. And it was shown that the stepmother said, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you, but you're going to assume a position of a maid. So that is how she found herself. She literally from a well-to-do background, even though that her mom passed on, even though that her dad also passed on, and living her with nobody to even confirm where she's originally from. And then we saw Sophie being a maid to her stepmom, taking care of the sisters, the stepmom's daughters. So on the other side, we also saw Benedict on the search for the mystery lover girl, or the mystery princess that he fell in love with right outside the ballroom. She was like, I don't know the name. To the extent that we saw the player boy, who is Benedict, even sketching the way the masked princess or the masked girl, that I've actually stole his art. He was sketching it on a canvas. And I remember also that one thing that Benedict also had with him was the glove, a pair of the glove. Maybe Sophie intentionally or mistakenly dropped it. And then I saw it saying that, Lady Violet started singing his song, saw his son in another different way, calm, relaxed, so it was like, what is going on? We know you to be the energetic guy. What is going on? And then he came out clean and clear and say that he has fallen in love with a mystery girl, and he doesn't know where to find the girl. But anyways, I remember Lady Violet looking through the gloves to see if there's any form of identity. She's been around for a couple of times, right? She knows there is always something able to link it to the stepmom. And it was funny how Benedict also went to the stepmom's house thinking it was going to be the daughter. But when Benedict got to the scene, to the house, where Sophie was in, that it was none of the two girls. He knew, he wasn't sure if it was Sophie, but he knew it wasn't two of the girls. I felt like maybe Benedict never thought that Sophie, the lady she saw, was Sophie, or maybe it was Sophie, but not Sophie as a maid. Maybe Sophie as a princess. Just kind of two words for Sophie. And also, I remember it was one thing that was actually very funny to me in the course of the movie was desperation to actually find the mystery girl, to the extent that Benedict was begging her sister-in-law, which is Lady Whistledown, and say, could you please help me write something and let's publish it, and said, I'm looking for this mystery girl that I met, at the Max Ball and all of that. And there was a scene where they share a lot of ladies are like, oh man, this is ready to settle down and all of that. And one thing is that anything that has to do with this relationship thing, But Queen Charlotte is always interested. She wants to be in the center of what is happening for every season. She wants to be the one facilitating the relationship and all of that. I would say that the love situation between Benedict and Sophie unusual, like compared to other seasons. And the funny thing is that I remember Sophie also leaving the stepmom house because she kept burning for Benedict and all of that. And she knew that the moment she remains the maid, there will never be any chance for both of them meeting at all. So there was also a scene where we saw, Benedict appearing where Sophie was after she left her stepmom. And then there was a scene where Sophie and Benedict was right in the same cottage. There was rain. It was just like two lovers. Literally, their hearts bond for each other. But I feel like because of the social status thing, Sophie couldn't come out and say, I am the masked girl. And Benedict couldn't also place that, could it be Sophie? Could it be the lady? But, a couple of times in the movie, there were a lot of emotional bonding where their eyes were locking on each other. They also even tried to steal kisses at some point. And it's part 1, right? We haven't seen part 2. Part 2 is set to come out. But one thing I love about this season, about this part 1 season, is just how a playboy completely turns to a lover boy with a mystery woman. I think at the end of it, one thing, because I was watching a podcast about it, was how towards the end, there was something that happened. They were going for another ball, and Benedict and Sophie also, they came into the same sport, into the same aisle. I think Sophie left something at home and then she went in, and then on now getting inside, she met Benedict, and there was a lot of emotional bang. And even after that, you saw it was so hard that Benedict was like, I want you to be my mistress. I born for you. All this all this British accent. I born for you. I wish you can be my mistress. And Sophie was so sad that you couldn't I know she actually struggled to want to come out, but at the same time, the fact that because at a point Sophie got a job to serve as a maid where Benedict actually stayed, and I remember Benedict saying, okay, please come and be my mom maid, but I trust me, I'm going to avoid you and we're not going to see. But every time they saw, there's this emotional spark between both of them. But I also like the fact that despite the fact that Sophie was so emotionally involved with Benedict, she didn't see herself less. Yes, a reality, because I remember when Benedict was like, can you be my maid? I love the fact that she showed this. I mean, she didn't say no, right? But the way she said it, the way her facial appearance actually showed that no, guy, no way. I am much more than that and all of that. We don't know what the party is going to be like. I feel like the party will be like, okay, they eventually got together. The real identity of Sophie was revealed that she's not really from a low-class family. And I feel like they're going to live happily ever after. But I'm looking forward to the twist. I want to see how it eventually happen. I want to see. So I'm rooting for Sophie all the way. Another thing again is that it was so interesting to find out that Sophie also, the cast Sophie is a new addition to the season. So let's say finger crossed. I love watching the movie. I love the fantasies, and that's my movie review for today. What do you think? Who is your favorite cast? I mean, sometimes this movie make you like some people exceptionally. I still feel like season 2 is definitely my favorite season, but I'm liking season 4. That's it. All right, catch you guys on my next movie review. And if you see any movie, if you have any movie recommendation that you think I can watch, like I said, I love season movies. If you haven't subscribed to my channel at this point, please subscribe, throw your like, be polite with your comments because this is my own review. And I'm just saying it from the eyes of a viewer like you. You might have a different about the movie, but I love it. I love the movie. I love the cast. See you guys. Bye.